You could tell he was nervous, and he said it in the courtroom. He had asked to go to the bathroom. He was like, "Excuse me, Judge,
In a stunning and unexpected twist at the very start of the trial, what initially appeared to be an innocuous request from Sean Diddy, Combs quickly spiraled into a full-blown courtroom crisis. Diddy, visibly anxious, politely asked the judge for permission to step out for a moment, citing anxiety and the need to use a restroom. Judge Subramanian, calm and composed at the time, granted the brief recess. But within minutes of Diddy's return, the atmosphere inside the courtroom changed dramatically. Whispers circulated, security personnel exchanged concerned glances, and an unspoken tension gripped the room. Rumors erupted almost instantly. Had Diddy used those few minutes to contact someone outside, destroy evidence, ingest an illegal substance? Though none of these suspicions were confirmed, they were enough to make Judge Subramanian erupt. Slamming his gavel and sharply rebuking both legal teams, he declared, "We will not allow this trial to be manipulated by opaque behavior," before ordering an immediate review of all on-site security protocols. Surveillance footage from Diddy's absence was to be examined and reported back within 30 minutes. A hush fell over the courtroom, thick with unease. The prosecution swiftly responded by demanding that the court bar Diddy from leaving the courtroom without documented medical necessity. The defense fired back, arguing such restrictions would violate his basic rights and potentially bias the jury. Tensions flared. The debate became heated. Then, Judge Subramanian cut through the noise. "I will not let this courtroom turn into a farce. Anyone who isn't taking this seriously, leave now." What had started as a simple bathroom break had now become a flashpoint, a moment that encapsulated the overwhelming pressure hanging over this case. Legal analysts later said the judge's intense reaction wasn't just emotional. It reflected the immense stakes involved. This wasn't just about holding a single man accountable. It was about preserving public trust in a trial featuring immense wealth, cultural influence, and the optics of justice. Diddy, after all, wasn't just another defendant. He was a global icon, a titan of music, fashion, and black entrepreneurship. And ensuring his trial was treated like that of any other citizen came with extraordinary weight. Some commentators believe the moment humanized Diddy. Once seen as untouchable, the cold, calculating mogul, he now appeared vulnerable, a trembling man asking permission for a basic human need. Others weren't so sympathetic, suggesting the move may have been calculated, a deliberate tactic to stir tension, shift narrative control, or potentially lay the groundwork for appeal. Such strategies, they noted, were not new. Similar courtroom theatrics were seen in the trials of Harvey Weinstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. This single incident underscored a deeper truth. In high-profile, high-stakes legal battles, even the smallest act can become a lever, a double-edged sword capable of shifting public opinion, influencing court dynamics, or shaking faith in the justice system itself. IT was also a sharp contrast to the mythos Diddy had spent decades crafting. Known by many names, Puff Daddy, P. Diddy Love, Sean Combs embodied the rags-to-riches American dream. From the streets of Harlem, he built an empire that stretched across music, fashion, liquor, and television. Bad Boy Records, Sean John, and Revolt TV were once towering symbols of black excellence and boundless ambition. By 2017, Forbes had pegged his net worth at $820 million, a testament to hustle, vision, and cultural dominance. Now, that empire stood in the shadow of one of the most closely watched celebrity trials in years. Not because of financial collapse, but because of allegations that struck at something deeper: control, manipulation, and the abuse of power cloaked in success. Others describe a carefully controlled ecosystem around Diddy, where silence was enforced and dissent came with consequences. His now infamous white parties, once symbols of luxury and status, were allegedly just the surface. Witnesses said there was a clear divide: the outer party for celebrities and influencers, and a secret inner room where the darker acts took place. One woman, identified as Tanya, testified that her phone was sealed in a plastic bag at the entrance. She was warned, "Don't ask questions if you don't want to be thrown out." That chilling instruction revealed a system of intimidation reinforced not just by Diddy's wealth and power, but by the silent complicity of those around him, from industry insiders to high-priced legal teams. When asked why no one spoke out sooner, witnesses were candid: fear. "If you accuse Diddy, your career is over," said one. The silence, they explained, wasn't just personal, it was systemic. It was enforced by the entertainment machine, celebrity culture, and the long-standing refusal of powerful institutions to confront their own shadows. These testimonies didn't just expose disturbing personal behavior. They pointed to a hidden architecture of protection, an organized system where abuse was tolerated, even enabled, behind closed doors. The emotional toll of the trial was just as jarring. Inside the courtroom, scenes of visible distress unfolded. Diddy's daughters, including his twin girls Delilah and Jessie, were present during the early days of testimony. As graphic descriptions of the so-called freak-off were read aloud, one daughter broke down in tears, leaving the room mid-session. She returned briefly, only to exit again when the details turned more explicit. Reporters later confirmed the daughters requested to be excused from future sessions involving similarly traumatic content. During a break, Diddy turned to his children and made a heart shape with his hands, a simple, almost tragic gesture that stood in sharp contrast to the dark and violent accusations unfolding in front of them. His mother, present during Cassie's testimony, remained silent throughout, clutching a handkerchief as her son faced devastating claims from a woman he had once lived with for years. When Cassie took the stand, she looked straight at the prosecutors and offered a calm, composed smile, refusing to meet Diddy's gaze. It was a powerful moment of personal reckoning, the past colliding with the present in full view of the world. Public reaction was swift and overwhelming. Initial skepticism gave way to outrage, especially after the release of a hotel surveillance video. Sympathy evaporated. Social media exploded with posts of disappointment and fury. Artists once close to Diddy fell silent or publicly distanced themselves. 50 Cent mocked him, using the scandal to promote his own projects. Comedian Cat Williams, who had ominously hinted in a 2024 interview that Diddy harbored secrets too dangerous to say out loud, was hailed as prophetic. But the most damning blow came from the industry itself. Radio stations began quietly removing Diddy from playlists. Media networks, brands, and even universities that had once welcomed his donations released formal statements severing ties. A man once seen as the embodiment of black excellence, a self-made mogul who climbed from Harlem streets to the pinnacle of global fame, was now being cast out, not for failing in music or business, but for violating the most sacred currency of all, trust, integrity, and basic human decency. If you believe this trial pulls back the curtain on the hidden darkness of celebrity culture, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more in-depth courtroom coverage. What's your take on the judge's explosive reaction and Diddy's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and we'll see you in the next video.